Hi friends and fellow Earth Angels, it's Gladys and welcome back to my weekly Sunday card reading. And this spread will cover November 3rd to November 9th. So we are officially in the first full week of November. The 2019 countdown is on. And the Mercury retrograde is also on. So my setup looks a little different here as I am channeling in Austin, Texas, one of my new favorite places. So I'm going to do this reading a little differently. I think I'm going to do little piles. So the entire reading could resonate, or I'm going to start with an archangel and I'm going to pull some messages from the archangel, and then we'll finish up with a God card. All the cards I'm using are in the description below. If it appeals to you, you can click on the links and it will take you right to the Amazon link to purchase the card decks. So the entire reading may resonate, or either one or two. My intention is to do 3 mini piles. So I will also put the timestamps in the description below. If you just want to skip ahead to a certain archangel, I will leave it up to you. Take in what resonates and leave the rest for whomever else is open to receiving it. So again, welcome. Let me just move my setup. I started stationary with limited movement. So here we go, friends. So we'll start with an archangel. Actually, you know what? Let me open up space first for us. I do before, but let's do it for the collective. And I'd like to start by calling on all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God, source, creator of the universe, and all his holy beings of light who would like to assist with this guidance for you today. And I'm going to ask that the messages that come through be for your best and highest good, and the best and highest good of all concerned. All right, so the first angel I'm going to choose is Archangel Raguel. Everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion of and see underlying order. So Angel Raguel is the angel of justice and fairness, and he also is the angel that helps with relationship harmony. So with the Mercury retrograde energy, it brings up or brings forward those things that we may have been procrastinating on, putting off. One of the things that I'm experiencing a lot myself lately is speaking up, setting boundaries, practicing self-care, asking for what you need. We are in Scorpio energy here, so with the new moon in Scorpio. So if you're having relationship stuff right now, Archangel Raguel is an amazing angel to call on for assistance. Any type of legal problems, Raguel comes in to make sure that things are unfolding fairly and just for all involved. It's kind of like when we're in that space, like it's not fair. I also feel like I'm getting the message of Raguel wants you to, as he says here, where does it say? Look past the illusion and see underlying order. So I can't even tell you how many times in my life things would happen and I would say, why God? Or, but God. And then after things moved through, I would understand it. So I feel like right now, maybe some of you who are going through things that you may not understand, I feel like Raguel is reminding you that everything is in divine and perfect order, even though you may not understand it right now. This color, this blue color, is the color that I resonate with Archangel Raguel. And when he's around, I see like cloud pictures, like the blue sky with the white clouds. And he's also, again, as I said earlier, he's really great to call in for any type of relationship challenges, any disagreements, any way that you have to communicate, express yourself, Raguel is really great for. So let's get a, what are these? Universal Wisdom card. Raphael. So it's crazy, of course, you know, this is how it works. Archangel Raguel is the angel of healing, and he also works with relationship conflict. So Raguel is known for relationship harmony. Raphael is known for assisting with relationship conflicts. And I always say when I'm working with people who are struggling with relationships, in any form, I always say call on R and R, and it would be Raguel and Raphael. Sometimes we can't remember who's the angel that does this or who's the angel that does that. I always say remember R and R, because they can help you get some rest, because when there's like relationship issues or disagreements or challenges, it could be with your children, it could be with your parents, it could be with your significant other, it could be with coworkers. It's almost like their message is rest easy, get some R&R, they're on it. And you know, I always say that the angels abide by the law of free will, so you need to call on them in order for them to assist with intervening and offering assistance for you. So perfect. Raphael is emerald green. Again, he's also the angel of healing. He's the angel of miracles. Maybe you're going through a situation right now where you're like, I have no idea how it's going to get better. Call on Raphael and you'd be amazed how things unfold naturally. Mercury retrograde. It is a time to communicate, but communicate clearly. So if you need to have a conversation with somebody or ask for something, maybe you need to express yourself, maybe you need to ask to get needs met, take a moment to think about how you want to express yourself and what exactly you need before you just go into it. You know, aggression never works out well. So giving yourself some clear thoughts before you go into having a conversation, inviting R&R, these two angels in, can be powerful. I love it. So let's get, what is this? The Simple Answer by Sonia Choquette. This card says, say yes. Oh my gosh. Look right here. So I really feel like this reading is connected with relationship stuff. So, you know, if this is not resonating with you, maybe one of the other piles that I pick will come up to be able to support you. But if you can see this right now, one of the messages that I'm getting here is to remember why you said yes. This coming in now almost feels like a romantic relationship. And one of the messages I'm getting is remember like the beginning. Remember like the love and the romance, remembering the good times. Remember why you said yes, right? And so we have the 3 + 5 here card. So 3 + 5 = 8. 8 is an infinity number. It's also a twin flame number. It's a never-ending vibration. It's a prosperity and abundance vibration. So I almost feel like for those of you who are still watching this and it's really resonating, I feel like any challenges or difficulties or disruptions that you're feeling right now almost need to come to the surface. And of course, as I look at the time, it's 8:44, just past 8:44, which is the angel number. And of course, there's the 8, the infinity number. I feel like relationships right now are being shaken up, and the angels want you to be able to move through these challenges knowing that this stuff needs to come to surface. And if you can communicate and have a conversation with each other in a peaceful place, in a peaceful, neutral setting, the depth of your love can enhance or increase. Sometimes it's easier just to ignore or to put off or pretend, procrastinate it on and pretend things aren't happening. But I feel like this retrograde, especially with the Scorpio energy, which is very sexual, it's very passionate, it's very flowy, and I almost feel like the things that you've been putting off and procrastinating on are going to come to surface, especially with this setup right here with regards to romantic relationships. So I know I say this often, but John Mayer's say what you need to say. Maybe some of you just need to sit down and have a conversation with somebody. It really needs to come from like what your needs are, especially so the feminine energies, you know, being able to express what your needs are and how your partner can support you and what you're feeling is so powerful. But you've got to understand what that is before you go into it. And then, you know, with the masculine energies, being able to be a level of vulnerable and be able to share your feelings is powerful. There was a quote that I just saw, like, what is it? Masculine energies who are growing and expanding in personal development and spirituality is the new sexy, or something like that. So I think even the masculine energies are learning to get in touch with their needs and take risks and leaps of faith with regards to, you know, deepening their commitments and their passion and their love in relationships. So awesome. So let's see what God has to say here. All right. So the final message, let's see, is speak words of love, of course. Be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. I mean, this whole reading has been about speaking words of love, inviting in the angels, knowing that you're not working alone. Say yes, or remember why you said yes to this person, or remember why your heart felt full around this person. I feel like, you know, we're in the energy of reintegrating the energy of true love back on the planet. And these first couple of years, 2017, 18, 19, has been about the individual of the self, learning about our own self, balancing the masculine and feminine within. And now come 2020, partnerships and romantic relationships are going to go to another whole level with all the knowledge and wisdom that we've acquired over these last couple of years about ourselves. You know, talk about law of attraction. I mean, there's a reason why I put up this life is beautiful sign. It comes in perfect alignment. So when you speak words of love, words that come from the heart, you know, check in with Raguel and Raphael before you have a conversation, and just ask, and even that divine unconditional love, God, source, creator energy, ask them to assist you in communicating. I think that's a big wound in relationships right now, is the inability to understand how to communicate, especially with polar opposites, with the masculine and feminine energy. You know, we speak different languages, let's say. We approach things differently with the masculine and feminine energy. You know, it's not necessarily gender, but how you resonate. So a lot of people right now are learning how to get in touch and communicate their needs from their place, and really separating from the attack of you this and you that. So speak words of love. This makes me feel. I love this. You know, this feels great. Or how about we try this? Or I'm feeling this way. How can you help? Or do you have a plan? Things like that can help tremendously. So great reading. So that's the first one. Let's put this aside as we go into the next pile. So let's see. Here we go. Let me go with this one. So, oh, Michael, you are safe. It says, I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you and your loved ones and home. So Archangel Michael is the guardian of light. He is the angel. He is the bodyguard for earth angels. Some of you may be feeling vulnerable, exposed, sensitive right now if you're moving in new territories. And Michael wants to remind you that you are never alone. So Michael sends fire trucks, ambulances, cop cars, sirens, like the sirens, emergency vehicle emergency responders. The sign is help is on the way. You're not alone. And so I feel like that's what the message that I'm channeling right here for you. Those who resonated with Archangel Michael, your message is help is on the way. You're not alone. And that word alone seems to pop out in my head, where Michael says maybe you've been feeling alone and isolated. Maybe you're going through something right now that's scary, and maybe you don't know. Maybe you feel like you're walking in the dark and you don't know what's going to happen. Know that Michael is walking with you. He kind of comes in with his sword and shield, and he like walks in front of you to kind of clear the way. So I like to imagine when Michael comes in for people, it's like they've been plopped off in the Amazon forest, and you don't know which way to go. It's very easy to get lost. And so when you invite Michael into your life as part of your spiritual practice, or just, you know, bringing your attention to his vibration and his energy, it's like he's coming ahead of you and he's like clearing a path through like the thickness of the brush per se. So right now I feel like Michael is saying you are safe. Help is on the way. You're not alone. So I'm going to ask Michael to elaborate on that. What more do you have to say here? I feel like I want this one. The universe. So it's no coincidence. I should have warned you that these cards have some nudity in it. So I will put that in the description below. Warning. These are beautiful cards. I absolutely love them. But it's no coincidence you have the masculine and the feminine here. So I feel like for some of you who are going through a difficult time right now, I feel like you're being asked to tap into both the masculine and feminine. There might be points when you have to step into process and structure in order to get things done. And then there might be some other times where you have to tap into the energy and the vibration of the universe. We have the mother energy here, or the divine feminine, which is the creator energy. Sometimes you may need to find creative ways to do things, creative ways to solve problems, creative ways, or maybe finding different ways or a different approach to things that weren't necessarily working before. Let me see here. I just want to see what the book has to say. This is a relatively new deck for me, so I just want to just double check and see if there's any more information that can assist you here. Oops, I just passed it. Sorry about that. Let's see. Doing this like, there it is. Let's see. So the mantra says, come, open the golden doors and enter the universe within you. Eternity exists inside your heart. And of course, that goes again with the masculine and feminine vibration that we hear. It says, this life is but a dream, so don't take it too seriously. Listen to the wind as it blows through the trees. Feel it caress your face and feel all of life sway graciously to a universal rhythm. Be one with the eternal flow of nature. Walk with it, rest within its shelter, and allow your heart to heal. I love this. So I feel like Michael is saying maybe some of you have been like really into process, getting things done, making things happen. And this pile right here is asking you to go within to the place of rest, to be. This is also Mercury retrograde energy. It's not necessarily the time to bring on new things. It is a really great time to rest and recharge. And I feel like Michael is saying, I'm keeping you safe and protected, and I'm on it. I am your lookout so that you can do this, so that you can go within your heart, so that you can, maybe it's like extra meditations this week. Maybe it is, you know, Insight Timer is a phenomenal app. I've talked about Steve Noble's YouTube channel and his phenomenal meditation. So I'm feeling, if you're feeling fearful, you're feeling scared, you're feeling worried, it's kind of like that doom energy, like I just don't know how things are going to unfold and work out. I feel like the universe is saying there's no more that you have to do right now. What they would like you to do is be in the vibration of nature, connecting with that energy, just kind of nestling into that mother energy. You know, one of the things with nature is that everything has a purpose in nature. Everything supports everything else in some way or another. And I feel like even humans, even people, and you know, there's an ebb and flow with the moon cycles. There's an ebb and flow, and the planets shift in and out of retrograde. And I'm feeling right now, for those of you who chose the Archangel Michael, is to shift from the have-tos, the shoulds, the worries, the fears, the anxieties, the stress, which is very common this time as Mercury goes retrograde, and shift into the knowing that all is well, that peace is within you. And you can find that in that maternal universal energy. I love it. Let's just get another message from the Answer is Simple deck. Let's see. What else? Oh, gosh. Give it to God. How beautiful. So this is what I was talking about. Imagine this is all your worries and your fears and your stresses. And you can just kind of release it to the divine. You'll be amazed at how much knowledge and wisdom you can get for yourself. Maybe it's your own health, maybe it's in your own career, maybe it's personal, maybe you wanted to deepen your relationship with the divine because of hiccups and bumps along the way. And I feel like God is saying, give it to me. We have 61 here. 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 is a very spiritual number. It's so those who are a life path 7, or those who are in a year of the 7, it's a year of going within and finding spiritual depth. So I'm feeling those of you right now who are rarely resonating with, this is for you, and that maybe the challenges and the difficulties you're going through is to deepen your own spiritual journey. You know, I really believe we're souls having a human experience here on this earth. And, you know, one of my questions in the past was like, but what's the point? Like, why put ourselves through this? What is the reason behind it? And, you know, it all comes back to spiritual growth and the evolution and the expansion of life and knowledge and wisdom and understanding. I mean, it really is incredible how advanced this planet has gotten in a short amount of time, and I attribute that to consciousness. I attribute that to spirituality and faith and the awareness that we don't work alone, that there's this higher power. And when you can tap into that, you can access like healing messages, you can access knowledge and wisdom that can help the planet in so many ways. So I feel like this is a timeout for a lot of you who are resonating with this right now, and, you know, going within and just reflect upon the awe's and wonders of the universe. You know, I'm here at my friend's place, and her plant was outside and it was starting to shrivel up. So we ended up bringing it inside and just giving it some water. And in a couple hours, this plant flourished. It opened up its leaves and it even budded a flower in a couple hours. It was just amazing. It's like this one purple flower on this plant. It's almost like telling us, I feel like it was telling us, like, keep me inside, I'll be beautiful for you. So when you can really just stop and observe, give the stresses, worries, fears, tensions, headaches to God, and really look around in the beauty of universe, it just really just sets a whole new tone on another whole level. All right, so let me finish with a God card. What's his final message here? Face your future with boldness and strength. As soon as I pray, you answer me. You encourage me by giving me strength. Oh, I mean, I just, strength here, give it to God. So this is validation that God is very much aware of what you're going through, and he loves you so much. And we have a choice, you know, are we going to let that darkness loom over us and dictate fear within us, or are we going to face our future with boldness and strength? Here's this beautiful energy right here. It's almost like she's saying, bring it on, right? But it doesn't have to be about fighter energy. For me, I'm almost feeling it's a surrender energy, surrendering into what is, surrendering into the flow of what's next, surrendering into your own self for answers. I promise you, the energy is there. It might not come right away, but given enough time to raise your vibration, and it's really awareness on a higher vibrational things, can really bring in this strength that I feel so many of you are needing right now. Another beautiful message. All right, so let's do one more. We have time for one more. Let's see. All right, let's do a reset here. All right, angels, what Where do we start? I think I'm going to go with this one. This is peeking out here. Hello from heaven. Archangel Azrael says your loved ones in heaven are doing fine. Let go of worries and feel their loving blessings. So Angel Azrael is the angel of endings, the angel of completion. He is also known as the angel of death, you know, and I don't mean that as like Grim Reaper death. I mean it as like an ending of a cycle. So some of you may be upon an ending of a cycle right now. And I feel specifically your loved ones in heaven want you to know that they're alive and well and safe and supporting you there. That message is specific. Maybe some of you have lost a loved one recently, and they want you to know that they're fine. But also too, I feel like for a lot of you, you're coming up on the completion and an ending of cycles of something. So things can appear dark, or things can appear like you don't know what's next, and you can call on the Archangel Azrael to help you through the transition. I typically see when Azrael comes up in my readings or when I'm working with people, I usually see Azrael standing on a bridge with his arms stretched out, and this is for the reason why his arm is stretched out is because we have the gift of free will. And it's like you have to get yourself to the bridge, and you have to be open to taking his hand, and he can escort you across. I typically see him come forth with people who are struggling with addictions. Maybe you have somebody in your life right now who's struggling with an addiction, and things are distracting, or it's causing distractions. It doesn't have to be like drugs or alcohol, but it could be video games. It could be spending money. There's so many forms of addiction right now. And I feel like Azrael is, if you're going through that, you can ask Azrael to help you end that cycle so that you can move forward and have an air of freedom. Moving forward, maybe this retrograde is a time to release those things, and maybe this is a sign from your loved ones to let you know that they're there assisting you as well. You know, a lot of times too, these addictions that people have, you know, with foods and all different kinds of things, health stuff, it can be like through the lineage, through the family, like this person passed on this habit to another person, and so on and so forth. So I feel like some of you may be getting your support from your loved ones because they know and understand if maybe have gone through it themselves. So let's go over, I'm just going to pull these two because they're sticking out. So we have Dreaming of You, and we have Turquoise Sea. It's interesting that you have two female energies right now laying on their side. That's significant. So I feel like some of you maybe need a deep rest. Let me see. Dreaming of You. I'm just going to go into the book here. Let's see what this says. There's a lot of dreaming here. All right, so the message says, life is a journey in which nothing seems to be permanent. Friends and loved ones move through our lives, often leaving a sense of sadness when we part. Life is forever changing. We cannot physically hold on to anything or control the flow of life. We each have our own path with its own challenges, and in order to cope with separation from a loved one, we must realize that in reality there is none. So this seems to be shaping up to somebody who lost a loved one and are curious. So I feel like this is kind of validating that if you're feeling the loss, or you're feeling like I lost this person and they're no longer there, and you're feeling isolated, alone, I feel like this is validation that they're there with you. Sometimes when we're grieving, it's hard to feel the presence with us, so you can ask them to come in more clearer for you. You know, and grieving is part of the process after a loss, and it's one of those things that, you know, sometimes we have to move through day by day. And this doesn't necessarily have to be the loss of a loved one. It could be the loss of a lifestyle. It could be the loss of a relationship. It could be actually something physical. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be like the actual death of someone, but it could be of something. Maybe it's a transitional space for some of you right now. And then let me get to this. I love how they were both talking about the loss of a loved one. Let me get to turquoise. And again, friends, I thank you for your patience with this new setup. It says this card is alerting you to the fact that in order for you to heal your relationship with another, you must first heal the relationship you have within yourself. It says, have you been too hard on yourself? Perhaps a part of you feels disappointed that you have not lived up to your own expectations, and therefore you feel that another has failed you also. Life is a constant struggle between the intellect and the soul. The soul strives to remind us that we are perfect just the way we are and guides us on the path of love. So again, this could be going along with like an ending in some way. And you know, the way these two energies are laying down and kind of just snuggled up makes me feel like this is what the universe is asking you to do, like with it, is to lean into, to snuggle into the blanket of the universal love, the universal energy, and understand that you're never alone. All right, let me see. And there's one more here sticking out, so I'm just going to pull this one. It says, look at life from a higher perspective. Getting wisdom is the wisest thing you can do. Oh, I love it. So I feel like here, as this is coming together, it's basically saying that you don't have to do it alone, that you may be guided to a spiritual teacher. You may have been guided to this reading for a reason. So I feel like it will behoove you to be open to receiving some type of divine guidance or spiritual support in some way. Maybe you have cards of your own that you can pull. Maybe you have a spiritual teacher or somebody that you can work with. Also, too, even like, you know, spiritual teachers on social media are really great. Jay Shetty, he's been awesome lately, and he's been posting some really cool stuff. So I find insight from the people that I follow on social media. I really, really like the platform that I have, and I like the knowledge and wisdom of the people who are putting content out there. So, you know, maybe this week the message is to look at life from a higher perspective. And in a way, ask God, say, God, show me, you know, or your loved one, right? Ask, show me signs, show me you're there, guide me to the right people, places, things, and ideas that will support me in the space that I'm at right now. Getting wisdom is the wisest thing to do, meaning I feel like this is saying, seek out alternatives. If you feel like you're coming up against a wall and it's a big wall that seems insurmountable, ask Creator, God's source, to come in and assist. You know, maybe He can shift you in a different direction. It's amazing how, you know, I'll come up on roadblocks on the road, or I'll turn on my GPS and I'll find another way to get somewhere, or I come up on a roadblock and the detour takes me past a sign or something that I wouldn't have seen otherwise. So be open, be present, be aware this week, be mindful. And again, you have to, you know, the universe abides by the law of free will, so they don't intervene unless we're asking. So being open to receiving insight, knowledge, and wisdom this week as you are resting, recouping, recharging, healing, especially if you're going through a grieving process in some way. Know that your loved ones are there with you, they're supporting, they're loving you, but you're a soul having a human experience. And, you know, many people right now are in a place of upheaval, of transitions, of a lot of deep inner work or shadow work that can be like facing all those yucky feelings and all those things that we've been stuffing. So understand that I have compassion for you, Earth Angels. You know, I've been on my own journey. I understand that it's not an easy course. It's not an easy path for humans. And I commend you for showing up. I commend you for making changes, facing the shadow, making changes, and being the light on the planet. You know, just through travel from Rhode Island to here to Texas, I've experienced so many beautiful people along the way. I mean, I was sitting in the airport on Tuesday and I just had this lovely conversation with a gentleman who worked at the airport, and he worked for TSA over there, and it was just a lovely conversation, and it just reminded me, how beautiful strangers can be if I'm not closed up, if I'm not like with my face in my phone. And I had a few hours of a layover, and I just was like, you know what? God, show me where I need to be. I walked up and down the airport a couple times, and finally I just found a spot, and there he was, just kind of sitting there, and we just struck up a conversation. And so, you'll be amazed at how God brings people, places, things, and ideas along your path when you're looking up, when you're open and understanding that there is a higher vibration there. There is an energy that it wants to work with you and support you and love you, and that, you don't have to suffer through these challenges. And of course, I'm here. Reach out, make an appointment for divine guidance or life purpose, or if you are struggling with the loss of a loved one, I have this beautiful gift to be able to connect with loved ones. So, let me be support if that's something you're called to. Of course, all the information and how to do that is in the description below. All right, friends, so let me close up space here. I want to thank all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God, source, creator of the universe, and all his holy beings of light that assisted with this guidance for us today, for this week. And I'm just going to ask armies of angels to go ahead, to clear the way. Have patience with yourself this week. Love on yourself. Understand yourself in deeper ways. And I will be back next Sunday. So I have not done a pick a card and a reading in a couple weeks. So I'm just curious if you have any topics that you'd like me to do a pick a card reading on. I know I've been doing messages from loved one and spirits. I've been doing love messages. I've been doing career and finance. I've been doing health. If there are other topics that you would like me to do a pick a card reading, just leave a comment in the description below. And also too, let me know what angel resonated with you the most. And if you do, I can always put, I have a podcast where I've channeled messages about each archangel and what they do. If you leave a comment in the in the box below, I can leave a link for the archangel. And you can learn more about the archangel and link it to my podcast. So thank you so much for watching, friends. And always remember, God loves you. I love you so much. Trust in the divine. Trust your intuition. And I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now.